So I've had the Maschine Plus for a couple of weeks now, and I'm loving the Maschine Plus, by the way. It's no issues, but on my last trip, I wanted to go ahead and create and do the things that I normally love to do when I'm on said vacation or said work trip, and I couldn't do it. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about the things that I love about the Maschine Plus and some of the things that I don't love about the Maschine Plus. These are actually going to help you make your decision if you want to make it. So let's get into it.
You know we gonna make it fresh.
I'm trying this new thing where you do bullet points instead of doing actual scripts, which I'm so used to doing scripts. This is actually easy for the preparation. It's just a little harder shooting wise, but we can do this. Let's talk about the beauty of no computer. I don't know what it is about how freeing it is to not have a computer. Man, the sun is hitting me really big. Let's see if we can find some shade. So like I said, the beauty of no computer. It's something freeing about having no computer to create music. I don't know what it is, but the fact that I don't have to be bombarded with a whole bunch of plugins, the fact that I don't have to be bombarded with a whole bunch of instruments, it's just whatever comes with the Maschine Plus or is able to be on the Maschine Plus. And I can really load this up. So let's say I take a 1 terabyte SD card, right? I take 1 terabyte SD card, I put that SD card in the Maschine Plus, and I get ready to go. All of my kits, all of my samples, all of my stuff that I want to do third party and sample it in, I can do straight from the Maschine Plus without having to have a computer. The only thing I really need the computer for is to transfer stuff over. We're also going to talk about the compactability, the fact that it is exactly like the MK3, to the point to where I don't even need an MK3. It's still an audio interface. It still does what it needs to do. The only difference between the MK3 and the Maschine Plus is the 2 USBs and it's standalone. That's really the only difference. Like if I was to send you, and I explained a little bit more in my other video, so if you want to see that prior video, go ahead and go to the prior video so you can actually see what I'm talking about. But just how compact it is to where I can travel, I can fit it in my backpack with no issues. It's just good. Now in this part, I'm going to insert some B-roll of exactly what I'm talking about here, but I'm going to be talking about the chord features. So let's actually go out into a different location and see what we can talk about with the chord features. So the chord feature, the chord and scale feature, just to be exact, is one of the most phenomenal features I've ever seen. Now, I just got and this is the MK1, so it's not really on that status as the MK2 and the MK3 that just came out. I just got the Control S49, and there's a feature on there that allows you to play anything on the keys within that scale. Same thing, Mixolydian, blues, everything. The same feature that's in there is the same feature that's in the Maschine Plus. So if you go on the Maschine Plus, find your sound. Let's say your sound is on pad 1. So the chord feature is crazy because the chord feature allows you to play chords within the scale, whatever the scale is. So let's say you're playing like a R&B and you want to use minor chords. You can use the minor chords within the scales. But let's say you want to do Mixolydian in there. You can do the same thing for those chords. Same thing with the scales. And then on top of all of that, let's just say you want to do minor and major, but you don't want to keep flipping back and forth. there's chord sets. So now with these chord sets, they're predetermined chords of sevenths and ninths and so on and so forth that really just goes up the scale, and it puts you in at, I think it's like 7 or 8 chords that really can depict a whole song within it. That, my friends, is the chord and scale feature. Now we need to talk about the expansion feature that's in the Maschine Plus. Now, you not only get the expansions that are made specifically for Maschine, no, you also get some expansions that are for Massive, expansions that are for Reactor. I'm not sure if Contact works, because I know Contact takes up a lot of RAM and a lot of storage, so I'm not so sure about Contact, but I do know that just with what I've said alone is a lot. So as we look into the Maschine Plus, the way that you can get to this, you go to the systems and then you get to the library. Once you get to library, you're going to see something that says expansions, and then you can go down from the library, from the Native Instruments library, and depict on whether you want these libraries to be downloaded onto your SD card. Now, there is a way to get the libraries on without having to go through the update, like just send them on in. They'll be in your user instead of the Native Instruments portion of the library. That's for all you hackers out there. Start buying your stuff. Like I used to hack. Just buy your stuff. I'm gonna tell you why in another video, but just buy your stuff. So let's do a little scenario. Let's say I just bought a Maschine Plus and I just bought an expansion, right? That expansion is gonna show up on my Maschine Plus instantly. As soon as it shows up there on top of all of that, I can download it straight to, as long as there's Wi-Fi. And last but certainly not least, the ability to go from standalone to CPU. Now, whenever I have the standalone, Jesus, this lens is heavy. Whenever I have it in standalone, I can actually flip it to the CPU mode, and that CPU mode is actually going to work as an MK3, so I can send audio through it as is a audio interface. And then I can go back and forth. Now, when I use it in CPU mode, I can actually access the SD card. So whatever changes I make on the SD card are the changes that I can actually make in the machine as well. So let's say I had some more expansions that I wanted to do. Let's say I had some more things that I had to do or add to my project or whatever. I can actually do that from the computer, add a better piano or add a better bass or add my own kit, which, by the way, if you need some kits, go to sbzmediallc.com and get you some fire kits. Right now we have the Gotham series, and the Gotham series is smacking. I've used it in a couple of beats and I'm gonna showcase it some more. Definitely some more, because you guys definitely need to see this. But I can put some kits that are third party, whatever I want to do, splice, whatever I want to do, and then put it into Maschine Plus and finish it out. Or I can finish it on the computer. Let's say I started with an idea, or I fully finished the idea, and now I want to mix and master it. I can actually pull it up in Maschine on the computer, straight from the Maschine Plus, and go from there. Now, with that being said, and I would love to end this on a wonderful, happy note and do a part 2, but there's not that very many things that I don't like. So let's get into the factors of the things that I do not like about the Maschine Plus. And this will actually shock you. So if we look at the price range of the original Maschine Plus, it is up in the $1,200 range. Now, thankfully, I was able to get it for a lot less, but it started off in the $1,200 range. Now, if you look at things that are in the $1,200, $1,300 range, you might as well get the MPC 1 or the MPC Live 2. I feel like the MPC 1 is more of a better comparison than the MPC Live 2. I honestly wish people would stop comparing the Maschine Plus to the MPC Live 2 because it's standalone, but not necessarily portable standalone. And that's what I want to talk about. I don't like that it doesn't have a battery. The fact that it's so compact makes me want to just pull it out on the plane and play. And if I'm not in Delta, if I'm not on a plane that has a plug at the bottom, I can't do that. I have to wait till I get to the hotel, which that isn't bad. Now there are solutions like getting a battery pack, and I think the battery pack that has the actual plug is $85. Now there's another one where you can actually get the ripcord. There's a ripcord that goes for the Maschine MK3 and the Maschine Plus. You put that in regular USB. You put that in regular USB-A into the portable charger, but the portable charger has to be really strong, so I suggest getting like a 24 volt or something like that. It requires 15 volt to charge, so 24 volt is actually perfect. So yeah, that's one of the things that I do not like, that it doesn't have the battery. And another thing that I don't like is the fact that it doesn't have the speaker. Now, when it comes to content, I like to use the Maschine Plus as content for like shorts and stuff like that. And I can't exactly do that off rip, if that makes any sense. Like I can't just pull it out, have an idea, and just be playing, press record, and then go from there, line up the audio later. I can't do that. Plug it into the side of my camera, and you can actually see that my mic is in the side of my camera right now. Once you plug it in there, then you can line up the audio that is coming from either you recording, you playing this live, or you actually doing what you need to do to get the best audio. All the ones I've done live. I actually want to get into the point where I'm recording the set, and when I record the set, I can add some features in there later, so that way I can sync up the audio afterwards. It's something about not having the metronome and just going off rip that's actually kind of cool. Another thing I don't like is that it's not touchscreen. Like, where is the touchscreen feature? It would actually kind of help, but I get it. A lot of the stuff that Native Instruments does is not touchscreen either. It's kind of like Mac. If I haven't gotten a touchscreen on a Mac, I'm just not gonna get it by now. And the same thing I'm feeling about Native Instruments. If we haven't gotten it by now, we're just not gonna get it. So it's not really a major complaint, but I had to put it in there. A lot of people were talking about how they want it to be touchscreen because the MPC software, and now that we've got the MPC 37, a lot of the MPC stuff is to the point to where you can actually touch it on the touchscreen and do whatever you need to do. And last but certainly not least, the third-party plugins. I can do a workaround, and I'm actually going to link in the description and up here. You can actually watch a video of how I show you how to do a workaround that takes away the CPU of using the actual plugin. So let's say I'm using Contact, and Contact takes about 45 CPU, which we all know if we're trying to do something quick on the Maschine Plus, it's actually going to take up a lot of space. So with that being said, I'm going to sample it into the machine. So sample itself, and now it's taking up less CPU. I think it brings it back down to like 8% or something like that. I've done that with my 808s. I've done that with my keys, of course. Anything that I come across, I'm gonna probably just do it that way. But other than that, Maschine Plus is great. So it's your boy Jay Fresh Beats, and I am out of here. It's hot. It's really hot. Let's go.